Welcome to the weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV. I'm Tommy Javor with
Darcy Evans
at Portland Hotel, one of our very good sponsors, and thanks to all our sponsors that you see behind us in the backdrop. And of course, Darcy, was a big weekend with our first live call.
It certainly was. At Peter and Grove were there, Teacher Grady versus Panoid Union, and everyone loved it. It was great fun to do it and to be part of history.
It was a good close game, Darcy. And if you like close games, I'll tell you what, Div 3 wasn't for you on the weekend because there was not a close game in the mix, the closest margin being 25 points to Athelston. But we'll start at Flinders Park. I noticed you got Flinders Park up straight away after a 14-goal win, mate. Take us for a
14 goals, Jeps Cross. Look, I did speak to Dave Kennewell and he said, look, we really want to take the game from the very start because the Jeps Cross haven't had a good year. They were right up there in the quarter time, but then they just ran away after quarter time, and as you said, a big margin there, 19-9, 123, so good kicking there to Flinders Park to 5-9, 39 Jeps Cross. So
84 points. So I'll take the Jeps Cross side, mate. Solinsky was kicked a couple. Gibbs Lad and Mr. Chicken. That can't be. Mr. Chicken, how would you say that?
No.
Look at that one there.
No idea.
We don't have another crack at it.
Yeah.
McTistian.
He knows
one.
He knows
yeah, Boothie, Gibbs, Collins, Hudson and Mason with the better players for Jeps Cross. So well done. Keep that one away, boys.
And Jacob Fuller, 12 goals in the weekend. So Ronnie Fuller's lad, back out. He played at Smosh West Lakes last year with his friends, decided to come back out at
How old is he?
He would be 25, 26.
Okay, all right.
Yep, so 12 goals. Allman with 2. He's back out playing with Flinders Park, a lad from Two Wells. Gericke, Collins, Hall, Jenkinson and Thompson. Best players were 12 goals, of course, with Jacob Fuller. Well done with that.
Yeah, if you kick 12, you have to get best player, wouldn't you?
So no, great effort there. Baldwin, Morrill, Thompson and Swartz. So Thompson and Swartz, they're both their brothers played Eagles and they're good to see them back out. They're playing all together at Flinders Park.
Of course, Flinders Park is a West Adelaide football club.
It is now, indeed it is.
Yeah, it used to be Eagles, didn't it? With the rezoning, things have shifted. Yes. Okay, our next one. It's going to take me 20 minutes to get through the goal kickers here. Talked about Golden Grove, and again, it's hard you weren't on the show last week, but I talked about Golden Grove. I just see them as they're a club that will eventually be Div 1. The demographic, I think, of the area, I think dictates it. They're too strong, their juniors are too well set up, and well, they've underachieved for mine, but on the weekend they certainly didn't. At Harpers Field, they made a statement. 28 goals, 11, 179. Walkerville Cats, 7, 15, 57. Goal kickers for Golden Grove. Shaw kicked 7, 3 to Gunning, Morris, Blair, Preston, Pilkington, Shepherd both kicked 2s. Tolly Shepherd got best, along with Graham, Forrester, Pedlington and Shaw for Walkerville, mate.
Yeah, so just very Golden Grove, 12 goal kickers. So that's just how they did spread around.
You added that up while I was talking.
12 goal scorers, so mate, that's outstanding for a team like that to share it around. Probably did make a few moves during the game. But for Walkerville, Delvers with 2 and individuals to 6, 7 other players there, so well done. Best players, Allen, Sinclair, Blewett, Calorie and Hutchins.
Yeah, look, it hasn't been a great year for Walkerville. As I just have a very quick look, sorry for looking down here at the ladder, 1 and 5, sitting 8th and battling relegation. And I'll tell you now, I don't know that Walkerville have been in Division 4 ever.
I've never seen it since. Usually around the 2 or 3.
I was there in '96 and we were fighting relegation. We got out of it quite comfortably in the end.
Usually 2 or 3.
Up and down 2 and 3. Probably should have got to 1 there, but didn't quite make the most of some really good recruiting there at one point. No, never been in Division 4, but yeah. Well, that's not good for my boys, the Cats, so I still hold very dear to my heart. Gave him my start, and yeah, I hope they can improve in turn next week. Speaking of clubs that have hit a big brick wall in Division 3, okay, I'm just going to go to it. Is Kilburn are in all sorts of Barney rubble. That means trouble. They only kicked 10 goals, 666, but it's what Seaton Ramblers did to them. 28-21, 189. Well done to Matty Webber, who was on our show last year. He's stuck with it. You know, they went 0-12, 0-14 at one point last year. He kept at it, kept playing these kids, and now he's reaping the benefits. Nice 123-point win to Seaton. Goal kickers, Harlan 47, the 42-year-old Paul Marshall with 6, Polanski 4, Schwerdle 3, Harris 2, Wild 2. A host of singles. Yes, that's 10 goal kickers.
11.
Okay.
11 goal.
Helen Walsh, Annette, Polanski and Wild were the better players for Kilburn, mate.
Yes, obviously goal scores. Howson, in a low-scoring game, kicked 5, so well done.
Low scoring for Kilburn, wasn't it? Low scoring for Seaton.
So for Kilburn, he kicked 5 out of their 10, so well done, half their score. McCullum with 3, so well done, and McCaffrey and Gill, just the individual goal scorers there. Best players, O'Loughlin, McCaffrey, Parks, Scully and Howson. We caused a bit of a stir the other week, TJ.
Oh, we didn't, did we?
Paul Thomas, he's an ex-Flinders Park boy, Kilburn, he played for Kilburn in the heyday. He's now the assistant coach of Division 2, and we mentioned that they don't have a junior out there, any juniors. He actually mentioned no junior teams at all, or program, and he actually sent me an email through Facebook when I posted it. He goes, we do have juniors, they play at other clubs, but when they turn 18, then they go to Kilburn. That's how he's trying to verify that they do have juniors out there. When they finish at 18...
They sign a contract, do they?
I don't know, that's a good point. We might have to get that out. But that's what we're saying, they've got juniors, when they turn 18, they'll head to the seniors.
I think they've got an Auskick as well, I could be wrong. I thought I read something about that somewhere.
You just want to make sure that we say, yes, they do have juniors in a different environment. So have a word about that.
Yep, thanks for that. All right, next one, again, another one-sided game. It was Plimpton and Pembroke. This one was at Plimpton Oval there. Plimpton 7-16-58, Pembroke 14-12-96. For Pembroke, Evans returned to the goal kicking with 3, Holbrook, Pengelly and Nicholson all kicked 2. Better players for them were Connors, Canny and James Allen back in the best player. For the Red Dogs?
Yeah, we've got Walker with 2, then Singh was to 4 or 5 players, then best players McLeod, Smith, Tan, Nilsson and Deere. So again, we can't see where they took control of the game the whole lot there because we don't have each quarter scores, but certainly Pembroke overrun them with a good win at the end.
Yep, no, too good there Pembroke, and probably everyone predicted, well, we all tipped it, so a little bit predictable. Look, our last game of the round, mate, and look, even this one, it was the closest margin, it was 25 points, but it was 22 points, so it was 26 points at quarter time, so there wasn't a game that was close at all at any point in this division. So, except maybe the last one, I guess, if they kicked 10 in the last, but it was Athelston 16-16, 112, Mitcham 13-9, 87. For Athelston, Stocks kick 4, Sheedy 3, Swift, Randa, Sullivan all kick doubles, whilst Mondar, Sheedy and Lomond were the better players.
Okay, and for Mitch we've got Gates and Beak with 7, Daly, Clark, Rolf, Akin, I'll just read them quickly, McGregor, Dye and Webster with singles, so spread around a bit there with Mitch, even a losing side. And better players, Gain Beak. Yep. Rowe, Mason, Clark and Ballard.
Nice little segue there to Geaton Beak, who is our leading goal kicker in this division with 28 goals after... Is there 10 teams in this one? There is. After 7 rounds, so he's averaging around about 4 goals a game. Tommy Evans has got 23 and Harlan the only other one over 20 with 21. And the ladder, Darcy, now I'm going to start this one off because I'm going to start at the other end of the ladder because that's where the surprises happen for me. You got Walkerville, Kilburn and Jeps Cross all on one win, 8th, 9th and 10th. And you look at those 3 clubs, when I say those 3 clubs, I think of power clubs.
Absolutely.
Kilburn, 3 premierships in the last 6 years, and also it's the worst season ever known to man. Jeps Cross were for a long time a Division 1 club. Yep. Several Div 2 premierships. Walkerville, as strong a Div 2, Div 3 club as sort of there has been. Tons of, I think they won 5 B-grade premierships in a row there at one point. It's strange to see those 3 clubs. Yep, is this? I'm going to be careful how I word this because it'll be too controversial. Maybe that's how I word. Is this a result of the growing strengthening of the point system and college football? That these clubs, that's
a good point. Absolutely.
Are now starting to struggle, and probably not a great example in this because you've only got the one other college team in Pembroke, but you know, you look around and you see up there up the top
PACs now, the same
Ross Travers, and they're getting very, very hard to stop.
Scotch College on top in Division 2.
And I look at these what would you call them, domestic clubs? But anyway, you know, your Paracas again, these clubs are falling away and they're struggling. And it just stands out to me a little bit more than ever before, seeing 3 clubs, and they're 3 clubs that, I mean, I grew up next to Jeps Cross, played for Walkerville, and played my first ever game at Kilburn. So, it's, I don't know, for me it just stands out. It's like, what's happening to these clubs?
Not quite right, is it? Yeah, exactly. The junior program, the Jeps Cross and Walkerville still got junior programs.
Walkerville's juniors are sensational.
They are.
Absolutely brilliant. But Jeps have been struggling a little bit, and Kilburn, well, they've got 6 juniors at other clubs, but they're coming back. They're coming back in 2042. So, yeah, look, I probably harped on that a little bit, but it's just a bit of a... So on top, Flinders are leading the way, undefeated. Not to take anything away from Flinders. Athelston 6-1, Pembroke 5-2, along with Mitcham, and Seaton Ramblers 4-3. Golden Grove are the ones on 3 and 4 that might possibly make a move.
That's it.
All right, let's get on to this week's games, mate. I've gone over time with my little ramble, but it was just something that, as someone who loves football, loves SAFL, just a bit of an alarming trend that's starting to happen. Why can't they lure these players? Is it money?
The Scotches, the St Peters, they are growing clubs.
PAC have got players coming out of the woodwork in their C grade that could play A grade in other Div 2 clubs. It's quite, not alarming, that's not the word. Good luck to them, they're a good club, well run. All right, this week's games, Kilburn and Athelston. Oh dear, Athelston.
At Kilburn, even though it's at Kilburn, they've got the mountain men that's going to push them on, but no, Athelston sitting in second, no chance.
Without those juniors coming back this week, Athelston. Jeppies and Walkerville, someone's going to have a win. They're both 1-5. It's at Duncan Fraser Reserve. I'll tip with my heart for once and go the Cats. Come on, the Cats.
It's at
Duncan Fraser.
Yeah, Duncan Fraser, same.
It's at it's Jeff's Cross home ground.
It is.
But you're going Walkerville.
Yep. Okay. Oh, sorry, my fault. Yes, Walkerville. I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Walkerville. Okay. It's the second one.
Golden Grove and Seaton Ramblers at Harpersfield. This is a huge game because Golden Grove must continue their winning form from last week. Being at home, I think they can go back to back and put some pressure on Seaton to try and extricate them from 5th spot. Yeah,
well, they're one game out and they're in front of Seaton Ramblers, so if Golden Grove do win this week, it's either going to be who's more on percent, which looks like Seaton Ramblers will stay in 5th spot, but for Golden Grove must win to be even, so I'm still going out Golden Grove actually, so I'm going for Golden Grove. Big win last week.
Mitcham, they've been good, they've been consistent, they're best in their worst, there's not a huge difference, they're 5-2. Plimpton have been patchy and consistent and good at their best, but not so good at their worst. Mitcham for mine, at home, at Thomas Farmer Oval.
Same with there in 4th, I agree.
Alright, talk it up like you're a neutral, mate. Pembroke and Flinders Park.
A ball terror of a game, okay, so Flinders Park are undefeated, Pembroke just the 2 wins, so, but it's at Pembroke.
Pembroke have had 5 wins, 2 losses.
2 losses. Just the 2 losses. That's my second mistake, so that's all I'm allowed to have now.
That's right.
Pembroke, very hard to beat as we know, but I'm still obviously my heart is it's going to be Flinders Park in a cracker of a game.
I'll take Pembroke at home in the upset. I like to do an upset each week. That's my upset for this division. Thanks for watching the weekly roundup, and we'll be back next week.
See you later.